It went really well. I did quite a few weeks, over 100k, coming off the back of a really good marathon in November. I ran 307 in November and didn't come away with any major niggles or injuries, so went pretty much straight back into some bigger weeks. I also ticked off 165k, so full 100-mile week, 4 double run days, 1 marathon, 2 half marathons. An intense week, but I felt real stoked with doing that, and obviously a lot more confident knowing that if you can fit something into a week, then you should be able to cram it into a day. So very happy with the training. Wouldn't have really changed anything other than just doing even more hills, more hill reps. You can never really do enough, but obviously it was enough knowing that I finished it. My taper was a standard 3-week one for me. If I'm doing anything kind of bigger than a full marathon, then 3 weeks works really well. There's usually a couple of days where you kind of feel pretty average, the legs feel real average, but 3 weeks tends to be the magic number. I initially got the idea from Dave Scott, 6-time Kona Ironman world champ back in the day. Chances are, like I said, he knows what he's talking about, and yeah, 3 weeks works real good. Try it for yourself and see if you like it. Happy with the taper. My hip was not perfect when I came into the taper, probably just from running too much, and it wasn't real sore, but it was certainly not perfect. I said to myself, all right, during a taper, the mileage or the Ks are going down, and chances are the hip should come right, and it did. Probably the last week it came good, and I couldn't actually feel it at all. So very stoked and fortunate to have come through the taper, rested. Also in the last week I really did back it off, so I went 100, then 65, and then 3 short runs, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday rest day, and then the big event was on Saturday, and it worked really good. Got the laptop in front of me, so I'm going to glance down occasionally just to run through it as I remember it from the day. So we'll do a run through of the day. I didn't get a whole lot of sleep. I got 3.5 hours sleep, to be expected really. You're never going to sleep that well on race night, and that's cool because the rest of the days before I had slept well, felt well rested. It was really good. So you got up, had some water, had my bananas before. Don't usually have breakfast that early, but obviously what was to come was going to be intense, so had a bit more extra food. The start was great. The whole, speeches on the mic and stuff was awesome to hear, and just, yeah, it was such a great start to it. And got going, went through Tarawera, never been through there before. It was really cool seeing all the gases and stuff, and yeah, running with all these other crazy people in their head torches, and yeah, awesome. Got going into the trails, that was nice, and obviously I didn't know my surroundings, pitch black, just followed the mob and just took it nice and steady. Just over 7-minute pace, and thought, if the trails are nice and smooth, then I'll just give it a bit more and try and put some good work in the early stages. And that's what did come. A lot of the kind of like forest tracks, gravel roads and stuff, so quite flowy, quite manageable, quite runnable. So I was putting quite a few decent Ks in, and that was good. Through, Buried Village, and then out through there. Scenery is incredible, just through the whole valley thing with all the bush and that. So good. I wanted to look at it more, but obviously didn't want to trip up and hurt myself, so I just carried on as much as I could and glance occasionally at the views. Through that to whichever lake it was, and yeah, just nice, nice morning. Nice to turn the headlamp off after about 2.5 hours. That was good, and into the single track and all that. Really nice, warm, nice temperature. Just perfect, really. Perfect running conditions. Nice sunny day, a little bit of cloud cover. Really, really nice. And yeah, what was it? I think about a quarter or so. Things were getting obviously a little bit more tough. Started real fresh, enthusiastic, as you would imagine, and then things are definitely going to go up and down from there. That's to be expected. There was an aid station, and then the first boat trip, which was nice. It kind of came at a good time, and I thought, you just tick off these things. Had some more food at that stage on the boat. Just actually was good to sit down. I didn't plan on sitting down all that much, and didn't do throughout very often. but obviously you had to on the boat, and that was cool. It was nice to get a bit of fresh air. From then on, it was onto the flat stuff near Riri Whakaiatu. And I thought I would love that kind of bit, but I didn't. It was isolated, long, straight roads, and yeah, I mean, the pace you can keep high, and that's cool and stuff, but yeah. But in saying that, you know, there was good to catch up with my friend's support crew at the aid station, and they were driving alongside me, taking some photos, because we had Jinky there also doing that, and they got some good video and stuff, so very fortunate for that, and nice for the memories, really, you know. Supporters can be around you to cheer and stuff, and they happened to be driving past, so we chatted a little bit, and that was that, you know. Met them at the next aid station. Watermelon at the aid stations, I loved just absolutely going to town on it. The hydration is awesome, cannot beat it. Fast food, so good. As well as that, I had dates, figs that I had pre-packed from the support crew, and that was great, you know. A bit of calorie dense food plus some hydrating food plus water. It's a winning combo. From then on around, what were we? That was when I headed back into the forest. That was the 4 aid station gap that you don't see any of your support crew at until the outlet. It was nice to go back into the forest after the road, that's for sure. I wasn't loving the road at that stage, but in saying that, you know, you can kind of, I know my bearings pretty well, and I knew that we were kind of like turning closer to home and so forth, so that was kind of encouraging. The forest was really nice to get back into, nice to be on the nice soft floor. That was real good compared to the road, because obviously, you know, it's fairly taxing being on the hard stuff. And yeah, getting nearer towards the Tarawera forest, there was that savage climb which was included. That was very tough. I was not loving it at that stage, but I wasn't really sure where I was. I remember seeing the course map, knowing that there was decent hill before the big long downhill, and from then, after I'd gotten to the top of that, there was an aid station. Went crazy on the watermelon, nicely rehydrated. Certainly wasn't in the best place before the aid station, but after the aid station was in a far better mood. Then it flattened, and then you had this descent, which was honestly, like, I think someone said 10 to 15 k's of just gentle downhill, nice little softish gravel. It was brilliant. It came at the right time. I just cruised down that nicely, just kept running. Occasional toilet stop, and yeah, so good. It was just right, really. And actually, I got to the next aid station after that thinking, cool, the next one I see will be outlet, but of course, like, I didn't even really think of it at the time, and there was also Titoki before the outlet, and yeah, it's kind of like, oh, but at the same time, you know, I knew the distance, I knew that it is what it is, and I just didn't really focus on where the aid stations would be and so forth, so it didn't really matter. But you know, when your mental state's in a fragile kind of system, then wasn't the best seeing that. But yeah, got through it and carried on. Got to the outlet. Obviously, just before the outlet, it is quite technical, and you go up through the falls and all that, so some good savage stair climbing. That was tough, and then you kind of get to the top of that, round towards kind of following the stream back to the outlet, and that stretch grinded for quite a while. You kind of think, oh cool, you know, I'm almost there, and you're like, oh, I'm almost there, and then I'm almost there, I'm finally there. And then great to see my mates again, they were there. That was the plan that we had, sweet potatoes, so my cooked food later in the day. Alan was there, Shamiz was there, some good video from that aid station, and that's where I had my first cooked meals, which was sweet potato, avo, peanut butter. Didn't stay all that long. I did have a sit down there. That was probably necessary. Definitely wasn't in the best shape there, but you know, still moving well. No real issues, just ups and downs of an ultra marathon, and that's to be expected. From then on, I knew the pace was going to slow, so that was just over 100 k's, and I was averaging, I think it was about 7:15 to 7:30, so decent pace. No, it was actually, yeah, it was like just on my 100k time, so around like 12 hours 30-ish, 13 hours, somewhere there. I can't remember exactly, but very happy. My plan was to kind of put a decent amount of time into the first kind of runnable 100k's, and then from outlet to Okatina, I knew it was going to be tough. The pace did slow. And yeah, that was totally to be expected, but I didn't want to trip, I didn't want to bail, I didn't want to hurt myself, so I just really power walked as much as I could, ran only the sections I thought I really could, and yeah, just made sure I didn't hurt myself, and I didn't. It was awesome. I was a little bit slower into, I thought I was going to get there right on 8, but I should have had some more food, really. Yeah. I could have got it out of my pack, and I probably should have, but I knew I was real close, so I just didn't bother because I knew there'd be food waiting for me at Okatina. And yeah, it was just getting dark. The energy was kind of waning a little bit, and yeah, you know, I thought I'm just going to get there. I'm going to get there before dark, and then I'll get some more food, get a little pick me up, but yeah, it was fine. I just slowed a little bit, kind of conserved a little bit. Finally got to the slip where the second boat crossing was, and yeah, it was good to know. I could hear the boats, I could hear the music and people from Okatina. That was real encouraging. Got on the boat, sun was pretty much set, there was a little bit of light left, and yeah, from there the crew were all there, so well, almost all the crew were there. Cam was there, they all were, sorry. Shamiz was there, Alan was there, Jinky was there. And yeah, put the jacket on, had some food. It was a bit slower through the aid station, but that's fine because I knew what was to come, the big climb up Okatina. So that was where I met Cam, pacer, and we headed off into the night knowing that it was just over a marathon to go. The Okazana Climb was savage, super, super tough. Like, I was not loving it at that stage. They had kind of formed the trail into these weird kind of lumps. They kind of looked like mountain bike jumps. I don't know if it was for water diversion or something like that. But yeah, they were steep, steep sections. Some of the bits were so steep. I think they kind of smoothed the trail out because it was definitely flatter, but also steeper, if that makes sense. So less kind of like rutted V shape, but also very lumpy because of these man-made lumps. And my legs were so cooked at that stage, like so gone. I actually did pause and stop for just a moment a couple of times up there, and I think Cam was probably just thinking like, dude, how are we going to get to the end? But you know, just press on, keep moving, keep putting the feet in front of the other, small steps, and just keep going. It's kind of deceiving, that climb, because you do have some flat stages and then ups and all that, and yeah, very, very tough. But we did make it up to the top, and when we made it to the top, we started actually running a little bit on the downs. It wasn't amazing at that stage, but definitely still moving, which was very encouraging. Trying to, you know, keep the pace somewhat decent. It had blown out by that stage to, I think it was, yeah, 8 minutes something, but you know, I was totally cool with that. I knew it was going to slow over that big climb and all that. Down from Okazana Climb, it was good. Things were moving a lot better. We were both moving pretty good. Obviously, Cam was feeling fresh as I was not. He was going real good, making it feel easy, and yeah, I was obviously very cooked at that stage. There was another climb just before MILER. Yeah, the biggest climb was done. I was going to get over the next ones, that's for sure. Through to MILER Road, and the aid station said 200 metres away. It felt like a whole lot more, and it could not come sooner. Like the 100k, I had 2 small bottles, and it was enough, but it didn't feel like enough because I'd gone through most of the water by the top of the Okatina Climb, and was so keen for some more. So finally got through to MILER after a 16.9k stretch, a huge stretch. I think it's the biggest one between aid stations. Get some oranges, some more juicy fruit after my cook. Not the best food combining, but that's okay. And obviously a lot more water. And then from then on to the Blue Lake, it was not a massive stretch, 11 point something. And I knew that there was some good parts on the way to the Blue Lake that were runnable, that I could put maybe some time into keeping the average low. And it was good, yeah, around some of the bits, the pace was decent over the boardwalks near Tarawera. And then finally round to the Blue Lake on the road again was fine, and a lot of the kind of single track through to the back of the Blue Lake was good, not super technical, so yeah, could actually run it, which was real cool. And I knew the steps were to come. I knew that was tough. They were tough. I tripped on the first step, if you've seen in my vlog. Legs were so gone, and yeah, it was kind of leaning on my knees to get up. It was slow, not the prettiest, but I made it up, and from then on it's not super technical. Again, just kind of gentle single track and a little bit of kind of, I guess, dirt road to the Blue Lake. Through to the Blue Lake was running pretty well, and from there it was great to see my parents, Shamiz, Alan, and obviously Cam was with me. So, you know, at that stage it's like 16k to go. There's pretty much no way I wasn't going to finish. And there was a couple other people there, had some more watermelon. Just the watermelon was so good. If I'm going to remember anything from the day, it'll be how good the watermelon was and how much I ate. Fantastic. Didn't really hang around a whole lot after eating. Sham jumped in, swapped over from Cam, and then we pressed on. I thought that there was a savage climb after the Blue Lake. I didn't remember it that well from last year. It wasn't, which was real cool. I don't remember it being as easy as it was last. Well, I thought it was going to be harder than it was, but it actually was pretty easy. The last stretch, because that was great. You know, made life easier at that stage. Then we got onto the gravel that follows the actual road down to the last kind of windy bit before you pop into the redwoods, and that was good. Yeah, running along, happy enough at that stage. The pace was kind of like we were doing 7:30-ish occasionally, which was really nice to try and keep the average down. Then after that, it was different. Last year the steps were there, that was tough, but this year it was slightly different. We went up through a single track and it was quite gradual, much more manageable. From there, my knee got super sore. Didn't see it coming at all. It just kind of happened quite quickly, and from then, running anything was very painful. It was the inside of my left knee. I don't know what was wrong. Probably just fatigue, overuse. Obviously, doing a crazy ultra, which the body was probably just had enough of at that stage. And yeah, a few little ups and downs. Nothing too taxing that was gonna, upset the flow at that stage. And yeah, we finally got round to the stairs. I said to him before that, I was keen for the stairs, keen to, press on for the last little bit, but my knee was just saying, nah, it's not happening. And it was kind of gutting because the stairs were real tough coming down. I kind of like sidestep, penguin shuffled down them. It wasn't pretty and it was sore, very sore. But got down them, didn't hurt myself, didn't trip, didn't bail, and yeah, real happy. From then, it was just a little nice kind of soft underfoot through the redwoods to the redwoods aid station and into the lights, into seeing the squad again, my parents. It would have been nice to run through there because I had the motivation and I was very keen to try and press on the last little bit because I knew it was easier. But it just wasn't going to happen. And yeah, again, last aid station, there was no chance I wasn't finishing at that stage. Went crazy on the watermelon, as everybody expected. It was fantastic, and didn't really wait a whole lot through the aid station. I just said, let's go home. I want to go home. Let's make it happen. Kept moving. Dad decided to also run with me, which is cool. Cam came back after doing the 28k stretch with me. Shamiz was there too, and unfortunately, I had to walk the last little bit. I tried running, but it was very, very painful. And I thought, I don't want to absolutely bugger my knee so that I don't finish at 58k. That would have been super sad. So I just power walked what I could. Some of the pace was kind of 9 minutes-ish at that, but, it is what it was, and that's okay. Can't really do much about it. It would have been really, really cool, and I think if my knee wasn't super sore, that I probably could have snuck under the 24-hour mark. That would have been amazing, but yeah, it didn't happen. Looked down at the watch around the kind of towards the Polynesian Spa, and there was about 15 minutes to go to the 24-hour mark, but still with about 3k to go, so yeah, it wasn't going to happen. If I really, really pushed and maybe, but I think it would have gotten worse. I think I would have probably had to crawl or something like that if I tried to do that, so nah. And yeah, it was a bit of a slow grind the last little stretch, but very happy knowing that I was going to make it and make it in a solid time. So we got round to where the finish was. They all kind of went ahead, Dad, Shami's Cam, and we had a plan to have my sign waiting just before the finish shoot. And if you've seen the vlog, you've seen some of the images, then you'll see what the sign says. So 100-mile ultra as a vegan, why eat animals? Fair enough question, isn't it? I think so. Through to the finish shoot, and what a relief, what an amazing feeling to cross over the line that late, well, that early, whatever you want to call it, in the night. And yeah, 24 hours, 35 and some seconds, I became a 100-miler vegan ultramarathoner. The memory card got full. Let's try again. The fuel was nice and simple. Watermelon, rock melon, figs, dates, oranges. Then later in the day, avocado, peanut butter on sweet potato. That was it. The only other thing I had was water. Plenty of it, that's for sure. And nice and simple. No digestive issues, no wanting to spew. It went all good. It's nothing major, which is really, really cool. You never know. I thought that I would probably trip and hurt myself like I did last time. I did trip, but I didn't hurt myself that bad, which I am stoked about. The only things that I had was, blisters between two big toes that are still healing. And obviously my knee got real sore towards the end. Don't know what that was, probably just overuse, fatigue. Yeah, couldn't do much about it really. Tried running on it and I just thought, if I make it any worse, then maybe I won't even get to the finish. Being so close, that would have sucked. So just power walked at home and still did a decent time, as you have seen. Other than that, my shoulders were super sore from the backpack slapping. Just a small bounce every single step for 165 k's is gonna be compounding over time, and it got quite sore towards the end. And apart from that, nothing real major, which I'm surprised about really. The watch battery and how I charged it, I asked a question in the Tarawera Facebook group, and somebody had a Sunto watch just like mine. They had a little kind of USB recharger in a little compartment strapped to their arm, and then charging as it was on your arm, the watch. And that's what I did. You've probably seen it in the vlog. It worked really good. Just charged it once at the outlet aid station, got it up to 80-something%, and then it lasted to the end. So no issues charging it, and it definitely would have died if I didn't charge it. So I'm glad I did. I'm glad I was prepared for that. My recovery has been awesome. Obviously the day directly after, you're not going to feel amazing in the subsequent day. I had to go to the toilet first thing after waking up on Sunday morning, and I thought, okay, hopefully my legs are going to work. And they did. I was actually, after 2 hours sleep, in quite alright shape. I thought that I was going to feel terrible, but it wasn't too bad. And then each day that passed, things got better. On Tuesday, I could walk upstairs without grabbing onto anything, and also just tried a 2-step up a stair and it went alright. Obviously the knees were fragile feeling, nothing felt strong, but things got better. And I went for a bike ride on Tuesday, it went alright. Went up around the Blue Lake again, and had a mountain bike the day after, Wednesday, then rode again yesterday, and today just ridden up Okazana mountain road up to where the chairlifts begin. And 1,000-meter climb, legs went all good. Obviously not feeling amazing, but it went fine, and I was able to ride 35 k's, no issues. Tomorrow I'm going to go back up the mountain again. Having paces, I've never run with paces before, and it was good. It was really good to have friends, support runners there when things get tough. At Okatina, it's 120k in, and you're about to go up the most savage climb of the whole run. And just having even just somebody running behind you with the light, that's pretty much what it was most of the time. In terms of them pacing you, it wasn't like that. It was like, okay, I'm going to power walk, hike up the hills as much as I can, and we'll shuffle run on the flats and downs. And that's all it was. But it's good to chat occasionally. Sometimes it was quiet, sometimes we'd chat and have a laugh and stuff, especially as I was tripping up the stairs going up the back of the Blue Lake and stuff like that. Also, for a bit of the vlog, thanks to Cam for filming a little bit of it, because I was not in the state of mind or having the energy to want to film and vlog, especially when it's dark and you just want to focus on not tripping and obviously getting to the finish line. So yeah, highly recommend having paces. If you've got some willing friends that want to do it, then by all means it's gonna make a world of difference when you're deep into 100 miler, that's for sure. So thank you again to Cam and Shimmies for coming along. It's been a great weekend, a great event, and a great run, one that we'll never forget, I'm sure. Would I do a miler again? On the day I was thinking, nah, no way, but again, you know, it's never best to call it on the day. Perhaps, if you've ever seen the inspirational video of 3 Aussie dudes that go over to UTMB, something like that would be awesome. I don't know how you pull that off. They did. Maybe it's Stillville with Shimmies and Cam one day. I pitched the idea to them, they kind of looked at me like, you're crazy, but who knows what the future holds. I'm not ruling it out, I'll never say never. With the result that I got, 22nd overall, hey, you know, like, I reckon I could probably put even more time into that if the knee didn't get sore. And yeah, I know what to do now. I know I've been there, I've experienced it, so that's kind of exciting. Perhaps, let's leave it at that for now. What's next? I potentially will do coast to coast. Let's see. You have to obviously, you know, learn how to kayak down a river and that stuff. I haven't done it before. Again, let's see. I'm pretty excited to do something that's like that. I did also say to myself that I would do one big thing each year. So there will be something in 2022. What it is, I'm not entirely sure yet, but excited to have another crack at something. I like doing these things. It's cool. It's cool to look back on all the memories, the photos, the Strava file, the activity, and just, yeah, it's like a photo album to me, going, yeah, that crazy event, that crazy event. Any questions, please post them down below. I've learned a few things over the course of doing this and training for it, so I will get back to you. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.